Hello, so I wanted to make a video today about the various kinds of split coil sounds that are available on some of the PRS guitars that at least I have. I've got a couple of PRS CE24s, and I also have a Stratocaster that I'm going to compare those split coil sounds to, because there are some different kinds of split coil sounds that are available, and want to make sure that everyone gets a sense of what those ones actually are. This particular PRS CE24 has got parallel coil splitting and as well series coil splitting, and there's a bit of a difference there. And some of the other coil splitting options that PRS offers, of course, is the McCarty coil splitting, where you push and pull with a toggle. This particular model actually has a freeway 6-way switch installed, and I'll put a link to the video I did about some of the settings below in this one. But what this does is allows me to flick around to some of the settings a little bit more easily. So I'm going to start with a bridge sound, a full bridge humbucker sound, and then we're going to switch over to some of the parallel coil sounds, and we can see the difference. Nice clean sound, very full, very fat and thick, very much a classic bridge humbucker sound that you would expect. And so that's a great sound to have for a lot of guitar sounds that you would need. This next sound is parallel inner coils. It's a very coilish type sound by splitting the two humbuckers and paralleling them together, parallel wiring them together. So this guitar also has parallel outer coils, which is a nice setting to have as well, because it just gives you a nice sort of different type sound, maybe a Telecaster type sound if you like. Parallel outer coil sound. As opposed to the parallel inner coil sound. Very similar, but not quite the same thing. And then you've got series inner coils, which is a thicker, fatter sound. Some people confuse that with the two humbuckers together. It's not, it's inner coils in series. Nice convincing coil sound, but without actually having to have single coils in the guitar. And the advantage to that, of course, is its hum canceling. I'm going to put on a little bit of drive and gain now, and you'll see. You hear a bit of hiss from the pedal, which is standard, normal. You hear my hand scraping the strings, but you're not really hearing any buzz. And I want to compare that now to a Stratocaster with actual single coils in it. Okay, now we're going to switch over to this Fender American Special Stratocaster. You should be able to hear a little bit of buzz from that single coil. So that's not always desirable, but it's not too bad. That's just with clean, with a bit of gain, you can really hear it. You don't hear it as much when you switch to that neck middle, and you can hear that radio station coming in, darn it. So that's pretty noticeable, not so bad. Turn the drive pedal off and it's not so bad. Let's have a listen to the sounds compared to the PRS CE24 split coil sounds, or parallel inner coils, outer coil sounds. And so this would now be the neck pickup. bit of rhythm just to kind of compare. So those are some nice comparisons. And let's try the PRS CE24 with the McCarty switching. Okay, and here's another one of my PRS CE24 guitars, and this has got a 3-way toggle and a push-pull. So this is the McCarty switching, and it's a little bit different from the parallel inner coils, because what you're doing with this one is you're just splitting the each humbucker individually, and then you can combine them two in the middle position. So here's the full humbucker bridge pickup. Very rich and full and fat and thick, and a much needed sound for a lot of guitar sounds that you're going to be playing in any performance. Here's the middle position, which is the two humbuckers together, and very much a sound you may also want for lots of other kinds of material. Pretty much similar to what a Les Paul would be, two pickups combined together. And this is now the NÉCK pickup sound, kind of a thicker, warmer sound. Lots of people use this for blues and jazz. So that's an excellent sound that's needed for lots and lots of different kinds of material. Where we get into the coil splitting is when you pull out this little goodie right here. This is your push-pull, and that now splits this pickup. So we're going to compare that to the actual single coil on the Strat and the parallel inner coil sound on the other CE24, which switches differently. To my ears, it's not really an overly authentic sort of single coil type sound, but in its own right has its own merit for whatever types of sounds you might be liking to get. When you go into the middle position on the toggle with the coil split pulled out, you are now getting both of these split, but this is the parallel outer coil. So it's sort of more that Telecaster-y type sound. And if you flick down to the bridge position, you're getting this pickup split just on its own. The good thing is you're not hearing a whole lot of hum. A little bit maybe, but not a whole tremendous amount. With some gain on. So that's important to note. So this is the bridge pickup split. It's going to sound kind of sharp and bright and trebly. Perhaps a little bit of lead playing if you might need it. So those are some really nice coil split type sounds that you can get that maybe you were or maybe you were not aware of, and it really helps you make a decision when you're trying to get a versatile guitar. I needed a guitar or a series of guitars that sounded very different on stage with pedals and the like, but that I didn't have to switch in between songs because it's kind of a pain. It kind of interrupts the flow and the rhythm of the show. So to be able to have one guitar that gets me pretty close. Whenever you have a compromise, you obviously you're losing maybe a little bit. A split humbucker is not probably going to quite sound as good or as authentic as a single coil pickup. But the idea is to get yourself pretty close, and I find that the parallel inner coil sound is really giving me that nice stratty, spanky, chimey kind of rhythm sound and lead sound that I like without having to switch guitars each time. So try that and see if that maybe works for you.